I have 3 different ones that I've gone through the process of submitting the tax form and getting the paperwork. 2 I've never even shot before, and I've had this one for about a year and a half. It probably has around 500 rounds through it. At the end of the day, it's plastic, essentially. So it's not gonna hold up to like a commercially made titanium or aluminum suppressor. So you can't treat it the same way. Now, do they work? Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Go ahead and shoot 5 rounds. And this is standard velocity CCI, pushing right around 1050, 1070 feet per second. Next up will be the 8-inch suppressor that I designed a while back. This is modular. I made this way more complicated than it needed to be. It kind of uses traditional baffling, but the baffles are ported. But instead of the ports, like a flow through going like around the suppressor, they go slightly through the baffles at different angles. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do 5 shots out of this now. Hopefully that came through. It is significantly quieter. I will go ahead and swap to another one. Here we have the second one I've designed. Anytime you're making something like this, you run the risk of having a catastrophic malfunction, let's say. So there's always a chance you could have a baffle strike or whatever your internals happen to be. And you could blow out the end, you could blow out the side. So just be careful, always wear eye protection, obviously, and be safe. No one else is here. We are good to go, only I am at risk. But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll put 5 rounds through this one. Okay, well, it was extremely quiet. We are clear here. But like I just said, I did have, let's see, a baffle strike right at the end. I will say, even with that, it was extremely quiet. If only it was lined up perfectly. There we go, that's 1 tax stamp wasted. But it's okay, it was free. In the other video I have where someone was like, I don't even know if that would work. For one, this is a fun hobby. I get to practice design. I get to test different theories of internals that I think will work or won't work. It's a lot of fun, okay? And as long as you're doing it legally, which I am, there's nothing to worry about. So all in all, this took about, I want to say around 4 hours to print. All of these that I have here are PA6, so nylon with carbon fiber in them. And on this one, I did not get the threads to print correctly when I did them, the settings I had, but I still went ahead. I mean, once you print it, it's done. I mean, you have what you have. You can't really change anything after the fact. You get 1 shot at making your suppressor. So that kind of sucks, but you get to learn a lot from that. By the way, if this ever happens to you, you are supposed to notify them that this item is no longer in use. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I will probably, even though it is busted up already, I'll probably chop it in half, send them a picture and be like, hey, you can remove this from the registry. It was destroyed. Something along those lines. And then that way, this is gone. I'll still keep the paperwork. It's always a good idea to keep your paperwork. But that way there's just a record of it that they don't think this went missing or went to somebody or some nefarious thing. Alrighty, well, those 5 rounds were very quiet. We are going to go ahead and do the very last one, but I am a little more confident on this one than I am the second one. The second one, what I was saying, as the threads got messed up during printing. So I ran a tap through it, hoping that that would do it. Yes, it threaded on easier, but there was a lot of play in it, so I wasn't super confident in that second one, although it sounded good. This third one, I printed it with different settings. The threads came out very nice. Okay, we have our third and final, and this one just came out extremely nice. So I'm hoping it works out because I would like to keep this one. First shot, let's see if it works. All right, no failure. So we're gonna go ahead and run the other 4 through it. Hopefully everything cycles and it works well. I'm a big fan of my modular one that I made. I keep it in the 8-inch configuration because it is Obviously it's longer, there's more internal volume, it's quieter. It breaks down to 6 and then it also breaks down to 4. So I wanted a lot of options. And if you want to spend time and design one yourself, say when it comes to the threads, a couple tips if you're gonna try to do this yourself. You can't print test suppressor parts. Let me make that clear. What you can do is you can print nuts and bolts. So actual, threaded nuts and threaded bolts. Test your threading in that method. Don't set yourself up to potentially get yourself in trouble. So that's how I would test these sections. And I'll break one apart and show you real quick. So for instance, this is now 6 inches and this is the last 2 inches. Keep in mind, I am not a mechanical engineer. I'm not a product designer. By day, I am an art director. I just happen to like tinkering with a lot of things on the side. On another note, you can also print, legally of course, no paperwork, a flash hider. Don't put baffles in it, nothing like that. But as far as testing the sheer pressure of what the filament can hold, that is a really good indicator. I tested PLA, PLA+, polycarbonate, and then I ultimately landed on PA6. The polycarbonate was kind of promising, but it had a lot of delamination. And just under the pressure of the 22, it did not work. So I did not attempt to make the actual suppressor out of that. Instead, I went with the PA6 because so far, as long as everything's aligned and proper and you got enough meat everywhere, it's held up to the pressure pretty well. It's very fun, you'll learn a lot, but again, just be safe. You know what, we'll run it through again. We'll do the 8 and then we'll do the third one after they stop shooting. All right. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Okay, so on second thought, the first one, just because of the sheer length, I think it is quieter, but I am still very impressed with how well that one did. This last one here that I'm pretty happy with right now, from filing to getting it printed took about 3.5 hours, I think. The wait time was right under 2 months for this. So this was right after the boom, I'll call it. I put my initial suppressor video out right after the first of the year, talking about how to do the Form 1. And then a couple days after that, I went ahead and I applied for this guy, we'll call it Model 2, the one that had the failure at the end. So I got this one back within 2 weeks. This one, the third model we brought out. This one I applied towards the end of January, and it took right under 2 months to get this one back. So I think with just the influx of people doing Form 1 and Form 4s, it really kind of bogged it down. Hopefully that's kind of leveling out and it'll get back to that sub 2 week time frame. That would be really nice. All right, so one more test. We did the standard velocity, but I always use mini mags a lot, especially as hunting rounds in the 10-22. So we are going to run the CCI mini mags through the P22 unsuppressed, and then we will go with the Model 1 and the Model 3 with 5 rounds each, and then compare that. All right, and now we have the first model on here, again in 8 inches. All right. Okay, and we are back to the Model 3 with mini mags. Well, I may cut that out. We'll see. Okay, well, that sucks, but the mini mags do have quite a bit more pressure than the standard. That said, I am still surprised that that happened, being that the first one I made, the Model 1, has held up even up to velocitors I've tried it with, and it's everything I've thrown at it so far, even mag dumping this, which I can do 13 rounds in this, and I've done that as fast as I can with the standard velocity, and it's held up just fine. So this, I did not have a strike. Everything looks great. It's not at a part that can be fixed or anything. This was just sheerly in part of the body itself. All in all, this right here, minus obviously the cost of electricity to print it, but sheer material cost itself, I kind of calculated this out. It's around $5. a little over $5 in material to print a suppressor. It makes it extremely hard not to keep doing this. I would say I lost a little over 3 hours, but I mean, I didn't. I pushed print once I had it set up, and then I walked away. So really, all in all, I have lost $5 and a little piece of my soul. But besides that, it worked well. So I will take this back and try to see how I can improve this part in particular. And really that's what it's gonna be. It's those first couple inches, even though it's just a 22, you still got a ton of pressure in a 1-inch tube. But I hope you guys found this interesting. I've had a lot of questions over the last couple months on this and the SBR stuff. And just keep in mind, I'm just a guy. I don't know everything. We're all learning together. That's what kind of makes this fun. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sharing it. The first 2 videos I did got a lot more views than I expected them to, and I appreciate that. The last thing I'll say about 3D printing a suppressor for yourself, bottom line, no, it's not as good as a commercially made suppressor. Do they work? Yes. Yes. If they're designed well enough, I would say 100%. Would I use it all the time at the range? No, I don't bring it all the time. I bring it to show people that I come out with. A perfect use case for something like this would be hunting, where you're only doing a few rounds. If you're expecting it to be good for hard use, I would change your expectations, or I would severely overbuild it to the point where it's just going to be ugly. So, do they work? Yes. Are they ideal? No, but it's fun. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's have fun, learn from it, and just get better. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go home now. All right, bye-bye.